Welcome to Cleofe Podcast. I'm your host, Cleofe. Today, we're exploring a fascinating topic. Who truly is the richest person in the world? Many might think of billionaires like Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos, but today we'll discuss how, if he had accepted an extraordinary offer, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, could have been the richest person in history. Imagine this. If Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, had accepted the offer to turn Mount Uhud into gold, he would have owned a mountain of gold, a treasure beyond measure. But he chose a different path. Let's dive into this thought-provoking discussion. What is the Mount Uhud, and why gold? Let's unpack this, so stay tuned. Let's start with the offer made to Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, from Allah through Angel Gabriel. Hey ChatGPT, can you explain what that offer entailed and its significance?
Cleofe, certainly. The offer was to turn Mount Uhud into gold. This is one of the largest mountains in Saudi Arabia. The Hadith states, Gabriel came to me and said, "O Muhammad, your Lord is calling you. If you wish, he will turn Mount Uhud into gold for you." I said, "No, O Lord. I would rather be hungry for a day and full for a day, and I would rather endure hardships in this world and have my reward in the hereafter." Sahih Muslim, Book 54, Hadith 2270. This emphasizes his commitment to a higher purpose and reflects his understanding of true wealth.
That's a powerful point. Why do you think Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, chose to reject such an incredible opportunity? What does this reveal about his character?
His rejection signifies profound spiritual insight. A hadith states, "The most beloved of people to Allah is the one who is most beneficial to people," Sahih al-Jami. By prioritizing his mission of spreading Islam, he demonstrated that true wealth lies in faith, integrity, and service to humanity, not in material riches.
Interesting. How does this decision impact his legacy today, especially in shaping our understanding of success?
Prophet Muhammad's choice redefines success. It teaches us that true richness is not measured by financial wealth, but by the values we uphold and the positive impact we have on others. His legacy inspires millions to seek spiritual richness and moral integrity over materialism.
What specific lessons can we take from his life and choices in today's society, where wealth is often idolized?
Cleofe, we learn to prioritize principles above material pursuits. In a world obsessed with wealth, his example encourages us to focus on compassion, community, and faith. As the Quran states, wealth and children are but adornment of the worldly life. But the enduring good deeds are better to your Lord for reward and better for one's hope. Quran 18:46. This reinforces that our actions define our true worth.
Finally, why is it important to recognize Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, as potentially the richest person in this context? And what could Mount Uhud be worth today if it were gold?
Cleofe, recognizing Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, in this light, challenges our perception of wealth. If we consider Mount Uhud to be made of gold, given its size and assuming an average density, it could be worth trillions and trillions of dollars. I think it is impossible to put it into the words of money. In contrast, the net worth of the three richest people today, Elon Musk, Bernard Arnault, and Jeff Bezos, hovers around $200 billion collectively. This comparison highlights that true richness, as exemplified by Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, transcends material wealth. The wealth of the richest person on earth is just peanuts in front of solid gold mountain, as you can imagine. Certainly, I consider Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, the richest man ever the sky and earth have ever seen in history.
Thank you for joining us in this enlightening discussion. Remember, true richness lies in the values we embrace and the impact we make. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more thought-provoking content on Cleofe Podcast. Hey, Jack and Wilson, the floor is yours.
Okay, let's unpack this. Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're diving into a question that, well, it might sound a bit strange at first. Who is the richest person ever? And, forget the usual suspects like Musk or Bezos for a moment. The material we're exploring today offers a really surprising angle. It all revolves around this incredible offer made to Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, about Mount Uhud.
That's right. And our mission here is really to dig into the specifics of that offer. We want to understand the deeper meaning behind the choice he made, and crucially, pull out the lessons about wealth, success, and, well, core human values that this material brings forward.
Okay, so picture this if you can. Just imagine an offer of wealth that's almost impossible to really wrap your head around. We're not talking bags of gold here. We're talking an entire mountain, Mount Uhud, being turned into solid gold.
Yeah, an offer that would absolutely dwarf any fortune today by a huge margin.
So what's the story here? What does this account, really tell us? Let's dive in. Okay, let's get straight to it. The core event described in the material. What exactly was this offer presented to Prophet Muhammad?
Well, the source says Angel Gabriel came to him with a message. And the offer was pretty direct. His Lord was asking if he wanted Mount Uhud turned into gold for him.
Wow. Turning a mountain into gold. It's hard to even picture. What's the significance of that, according to this material? Why make that offer?
The material really stresses that this wasn't just about, getting rich. It was a moment intended to highlight his priorities. It showed his commitment to something much bigger than material things, a kind of test, you could say, revealing his view on what truly matters.
Okay, so how did he actually respond to this completely mind-blowing offer? There's a specific quote, isn't there?
Yes, there is. It's narrated in Sahih Muslim. Prophet Muhammad's response was, "No, O Lord. I would rather be hungry for a day and full for a day, and I would rather endure hardships in this world and have my reward in the hereafter."
Just, no, like that. Rejecting literally a mountain of gold. What does the material say this tells us about his character, his worldview?
It's seen as showing profound spiritual insight. It wasn't about rejecting basic needs, but it was a clear sign that his focus was, well, elsewhere. On his mission, on the eternal, not just the temporary riches of this world.
And does the material give us more on why? Why that perspective was so important, that focus beyond the material?
It does. It links this choice directly to the core of his purpose. It brings in another saying, a hadith from Sahih al-Jami, which says something like, the most beloved of people to Allah is the one who is most beneficial to people. Right. So when you see his rejection of the goal through that lens, focusing on benefiting people on his mission, it becomes clear the material is arguing his real richness wasn't in gold, but in faith, integrity, serving humanity.
It really makes you stop and think, doesn't it? Yeah. Imagine facing the biggest windfall imaginable, truly unimaginable, and actively choosing something else entirely. Choosing service, spiritual goals, character.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is where it gets fascinating. So looking at that decision, that massive choice, how does it shape his legacy? Especially, how the material talks about understanding success.
Well, the material argues pretty strongly that this choice sort of turns our usual idea of success on its head. It suggests true richness isn't about your bank balance. It's measured by the values you live by and the good you do for others. His legacy, based on stories like this one, inspires millions. It points towards, spiritual wealth and moral strength over just chasing material things.
Okay, so let's bring that today.
Yeah.
Our world often seems, obsessed with wealth, doesn't it?
Yeah.
What specific lessons can we take from his life and this specific choice, according to the material we're looking at?
I think it encourages us to pause, to look beyond just the surface level stuff, to maybe prioritize principles, things like compassion, community, faith, service, over just accumulating more. In a world focused on having, his example is a powerful reminder about being and doing good. And this idea, this focus on lasting impact, it's reflected in a Quran verse the material quotes, chapter 18, verse 46. It says, "Wealth and children are but adornment of the worldly life, but the enduring good deeds are better to your Lord for reward and better for one's hope." Ultimately, yeah, that verse, as it's presented here, really underlines the point. It suggests that what truly lasts, what makes up our real worth in the long run, isn't what we own, but our actions, our enduring good deeds.
So when you think about that for yourself, you listening, when you think about success or what truly matters, how does this perspective challenge maybe the usual ways you measure things? Which brings us neatly to the final point in the material, really. Why frame Prophet Muhammad as potentially the richest person, especially using this Mount Uhud example? And just out of curiosity, what could that mountain be worth if it actually was gold today?
Framing it that way is all about the contrast, isn't it? The material uses the sheer, almost unbelievable scale of the rejected wealth, Mount Uhud, as gold, to emphasize the even greater immeasurable value of the chosen wealth, the spiritual, the moral. It's a kind of thought experiment, really, to highlight that fundamental difference in what's considered valuable.
Right, a stark comparison.
Exactly. And as for the hypothetical value, well, based on its estimated size, density of gold, the material suggests Mount Uhud as gold could be worth, yeah, billions of dollars, maybe many billions.
Billions, okay.
And then the material makes that comparison. The collective wealth of today's richest individuals, maybe around $200 billion or so for the top few combined. The potential value of Uhud as gold could, theoretically, just blow that figure away.
Wow.
So the conclusion drawn here is pretty clear. This example shows that true richness, from this perspective, just operates on a completely different level than material wealth. It transcends it.
It really has been quite a journey, hasn't it? We started with this question about financial wealth and ended up exploring these deep insights about values, impact, and a totally different kind of richness. So just to wrap things up, this deep dive into the source material really gives us a powerful story. It uses this amazing account of the Mount Uhud offer to challenge how we normally think about wealth, contrasting unbelievable material riches with a wealth defined by spiritual depth, integrity, and service.
Absolutely. The key things carrying that message are the sheer scale of the offer itself, the prophet's clear rejection, the guidance from the Hadith and Quran used to explain why he made that choice, and the material's core argument, that real worth is found in our faith, our character, how we serve others, and the positive mark we leave.
And maybe here's a final thought for you to consider, just based on the themes in this material. If true richness isn't measured by your bank account, but by the values you live out and the positive impact you make, how would you measure your own wealth today? What part of this different way of looking at success really hits home for you?
Thank you for joining us for today's podcast. I hope you've gained some valuable insights. If you're a truth seeker, yearning for divine light and ready to step out of darkness, now is your moment. The truth is that Allah is the one and only creator of the universe. He has sent over 124,000 messengers and prophets to guide humanity, starting with Adam and culminating with the final messenger, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon them all. If you resonate with this message, you might be ready to embrace Islam. Simply recite the Shahada, the Islamic declaration of faith. For further support, feel free to join our WhatsApp group. You can send us a private message there. The link is in the video description. Don't wait until it's too late. We look forward to connecting with you soon.